everybody. Oh my gosh. Welcome to 2022. Hey, Mark. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Woo, Happy New Year.
And I'm ready for a new year, and I'm sure you are too. And we have so many amazing things planned for 2022. We're making a whole bunch of big changes, and I know you're going to love them. We are launching a podcast next month called Inside the Wooniverse, coming to you from the corner of Fringe and Maine. That's going to be amazing. And so you're going to get a whole lot more of me there. And we've decided to do monthly forecasts for the year. So they're going to be consistent. It seems that all of you loved my monthly forecasts last year. And so we're going to be focusing on that. So I'll be doing one energy report for the entire month, and then one energy report for all the different zodiac signs for the month, okay? Now, I'm going to show you a slide so that if you want to do a reading like this at home, you can. So this is a consistent way that I'm going to be doing the reading every month. So it's a 15 card spread. In the center, it's the energy or the theme or the anchor of the energy for the month, right? Now, I typically meditate and make notes, etc. before I do this, so I already kind of know what's happening, but you never know what the cards tell me to, so I wait until I've done the whole picture. So in the center, you have the energy, then it naturally flows. So basically, where are we likely heading this month? Like, what are the events that we're seeing in front of us? So that's the second grouping of 3 cards. Then we look at the challenges and obstacles that are going to arise for us or that could arise for us. And remember, this is a collective reading. You're going to figure out how to make this more personal to you when you look at the zodiac reading for the month also. Then we have hidden influences underneath that. Then we go there. So hidden influences are the things that we can't see. You know, what's actually going on behind the scenes that are moving us forward? What's propelling us that we don't really know or see or that we're blind to? These are our blind spots. These are both for supportive and challenging things, right? Now here, it's the wild cards. And this is my favorite section here because anything goes with these cards. This is about divine intervention. When synchronicities just come together, when we think all is lost, right? But these are the cards that tell us what could and likely will come in to surprise us this month. So this is the reading that we're going to do every single month, and let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to work with my latest deck I did with Alberto Vallaldo, the Shaman's Dream. Oh, you can see it in the camera. I keep forgetting. The Shaman's Dream Oracle. And this is because we are dreaming a brand new world into being, and why not? So this was based on the Shaman archetype, which means that the initiatory experience that all of us have, we weren't ready, but we are getting ready now to enter into a dreaming state where we say, you know, what we want to have happen. What life do we want to dream, and what dreams are coming to us? So we are always dreaming the world into being. Okay, so let's do the first 3 cards. This is the theme of January 2022. Let's get going. Ta-da! Connectivity. That's phenomenal. So then we have crown games. I just want to make sure I've got this correct on the camera. And we have a tidy house. Now this deck is not read in the reverse position, so all the cards are always going to be upright. So this is card number 8, card number 32, and card number 1 of the Shaman's Dream. This is one of my favorite decks to work with to do readings, by the way. That's why I chose it for this year. Okay, so in the center, that's our theme. And it's so cool because we actually are entering into Universal Year, Numerology Year of 6. And 6 is all about connections, relationships. It's a relational year. Last year was kind of like, you know, the explosive year. And there was like a lot of changes, etc. But this is now, our focus now is on our relationships with each other, with the earth, with you know, the population at large, with groups, etc. Who are we and it's a year of healing those things. So it's perfect that the jeweled web, which is connectivity, is the center card. So we know we're entering into the month of this year with this in mind. And what are we learning? Now, I'm not going to talk about numerology anymore. I'm just going to talk about this energy here, because I know some of you are like, well, what's the month? Yeah, so no, maybe next month I will. Anyhow, so they're flanking our connectivity is crown games, which is about the right and compassionate use of power. and a tidy house, which is clarity and organization. Fantastic. So we're coming into this year with a clear idea of what we desire and a more compassionate, kind, and dynamic way of relating to one another where we are not misusing power. This is not dominance over. This is an actualization of sharing. So this is a beautiful, beautiful theme for the month. So we know that the theme is the most important piece, and then I'm going to show you all the different parts of the theme. But the clarity and organization is something we're naturally called to do in the month of January. So we've got the Capricorn influence as well too, which is really, it's like, let's get ambitious for the year ahead. And let's remember that it's not about me all the time. It is about we, which is this here, the right use of power, crown games, and jeweled web connectivity. So now let's see where we're naturally heading, right? So what are some of the events that come to us this month as a result of this theme, right? So this is the energy. Now let's pick these 3 cards. Completion, covenant, love this, and empty well. Okay, so as gung-ho as we want to be, is this working for you, Mark, the way I've got these cards? Okay, as gung-ho as we want to be, I got to be honest with you, we are still completing, and this relates to this, right? So we are still taking a look at what do we need to close the door on? What really needs to be released? Even though we've been doing a ton of that in the past couple of years, we've been in shock and awe, basically all around the world. And these are related to solar cycles. All kinds of things happen cyclically for us. And so we're in that kind of cycle until 2025 of regrouping in a way where some things get destroyed in order for it to be rebuilt, and these are actually good that these things are being dismantled. So remember, the dismantling piece is still on the board. It's on our game board, and we're moving towards completion. So this is a beautiful thing, and this is in the month of January. So we're still looking back over the year and saying, I don't want to take this with me from 2021. I'm going to put completion. I'm now ending these cycles. So this is again, for January, this is really good because this relates to needing to be clear, needing to have organization and saying, okay, I'm closing the door now for sure on this, on these behaviors, also on our thinking. Again, it's an invitation. This is where we're being invited, right? Now, what you do with this stuff is going to be up to you. Now, there is a sacred contract that supports this and a time to replenish. So the sacred contract says, I am here to do the work. I'm here to, and not like, when people say that, there tends to be a shaming quality, like, oh, I have to do the work. That's not what this is about at all. If anything, it's about giving ourselves more room to grow, more room for the sense of learning and applying these new learnings where we're still kind of like newborn colts on wobbly legs. But again, the sacred contract that we have to be here in this time. I really believe that we've been called here to the planet at this time in history. I know you're watching me, so you believe these things too, that we're really called for a sacred purpose here. And that sacred purpose requires us to do what we need to do, but also to replenish. Now, this is a card for some people, it can be tough. The empty well card, because you're saying, yes, but I work 3 jobs and I do all these things and I can't replenish. I don't have time. But if you don't make the time, like this is what I know, and I know to be 100% true, that if I make the time, time expands. It's the weirdest thing. But if we tell the universe, I need time to replenish, it's like all of a sudden there's more time available to us. It is a tremendous evidence of how we think and our feeling state and the way we resonate with this particular truth. There's many truths, but this one is a for sure. So making sure you put your oxygen mask on your face first before you help anybody else, and recognize when you're exhausted. So January is a mixed bag of, at this stage, of yes, I'm ready, I'm clear, I'm organized, I'm compassionate, I'm kind, I'm committing to this year, and I've made a sacred contract, and I'm closing the door on the things that I know that don't work that we talked about last year, and I'm really holding space for my joy and my, the beauty of my life, etc., as I actualize who I'm supposed to be here on this planet. And guess what? time out is part of that story. And in January, it's not this burst out of the gate like a racehorse at all. The energy is requiring us to be very mindful on a 24-hour basis of how our energy is quickly expended and how we need to regroup. And that's why we need each other. You can't do everything by yourself. This is not the me, busy world is not so cool anymore. It's a me, we, right? Me, we when I can't me, right? It's really a beautiful thing, and we'll see more evidence of that in January. Now, let's look at our challenges and obstacles, and they're always going to be, this was in the upper right corner, and now we're going to the upper left, which tells us about our challenges and obstacles. Now, they'll tell us about the actual obstacle, or they'll tell us the energy that's there to help us over the obstacle, or a bit of both. We're going to see, depending on what the cards are saying. So this represents our challenges. Yes, moving out of stagnation. Wow, that makes a total sense. And being adaptable, that's good. So, and me talks, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Okay. Here's what this talks about. Now, let's see how this is about. There's a bit here where it's like, ooh, we have the commitment, all this is working, but there's still a sense of being an empty well here, right? So in January, me talks. Look at that. And these cards are in the same position too. How interesting is that? And the center is completion, and this is moving out of stagnation. So we see movement in January for sure. We know that there's a creative sense in each one of us that we have changed. There's no question that we've changed. For those people who have been on the ride and faced the deepest level of self-reflection and suffering and knowing that the way we were doesn't work. So the inner work the shadow has been very present in the past 2 years. And I'm a big one about the shadow. I think it's the most poignant and most important type of work that we could be doing, is facing those parts of ourselves so that we can show up differently in the world. And here it says, aha. So part of this is the stagnation of, like, say, for example, when you look at the news, and we're looking at the human quality of where we are, and the news only shows us exceptional things, and those exceptional things are troublesome things. So we're being fed like a news feed, the doom scrolling of this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this could be bad, this could be bad, this could be, because good news doesn't sell. And we have to see this. We've been conditioned into the stress response until that's become our primary response. And this is saying that that's how we stagnated. We just kept running on the same hamster wheel. And we really are seeing this now. Like, if you're really awake, which you are if you're watching these videos, you're going like, this is not good, right? And we've all got caught up on it. Yes, we have. And especially people who want to help other people, but that's not how we help them. We help by moving out of the stagnation of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, especially if we are feeding ourselves fear like it's candy. And also, yes, we know the problems. How do we stay in the solution? And this is the me talks. This is the repairing the body, mind, spirit. We continue. The obstacle actually is the stagnation. The obstacle is the toxic sense of rage that doesn't end up in a solution, and that's no one's fault. But it's when this happens, it's more about, okay, I need to find a way to ride this so that I don't fall apart and I'm no good to anyone, because those more difficult emotions are very important to make changes. Those are the things that fuel us. But when they blow us up or burn us, then that's when it becomes difficult to actually get what you are committing to do. So this is, again, the need to continue your personal work. And it's also the need to actually, because it's about relationships too, right? So we're looking at the year, the 2022 is that 6th year. So it's like, who do I need to set more boundaries with? And who do I just need to surrender to releasing out of my life? Because it's detox, right? We know that this is also more letting go. So January, again, isn't wine, roses, cherries, and candy canes. It is, ooh, I need more cleaning house to do, okay? Now, adaptability is a way out of difficulties. So nothing will be exactly as you think they will be. And I think that's sort of, in order for us to be resilient, because it's not about being balanced anymore. Balance is like a word that doesn't count, like for where we are. It's like, how do we manage all of this? Stepping into 2022 and in this month of January, well, it's being adaptable. It's, and one of the things that we're doing in January is our vision board challenge too. So, and in that vision board challenge, we talk about the difference between the old acquisitional vision boards and moving more into the actualization vision board, about how to become the person that has the life that it's still important that you have these dreams and desires, etc. It's just being adaptable to see how they play out. So adaptability is a skill that helps us over our challenges this month. And once we recognize that we surrender the form, which we're going to talk a lot about in that, you're going to know that January becomes a lot more palatable and happy. I think it's a point, like we get to actually hold the tension between more than one thing. And I think people think it's only happy counts, only joy, which is total bypassing. But you can actually hold the tension between joy and discontent. That you're not discontented all the time. You can find things to also be joyful and grateful for while the tension of change occurs, right? Okay, so now let's take a look at this corner, which is hidden influences, so that we're looking now at the bottom left-hand corner of 3 cards. I'm hoping I did this right. Oh, I have to put them down here. Okay, so I'm going to move them up a little. So ego sublimation. Ooh, this is wild. Okay. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Okay, so these are the hidden influences, like what's going on in the collective that not all of us see. So Mark, should I move these cards up a little bit so we get the hang of it? Maybe we should put little dots on the table when I do this every month. Okay, good. That's good. Everybody can see that. So we're looking at the center card is Vanishing Mirror. And Vanishing Mirror is fabulous because the hidden influence is, how do we show up differently? Well, we show up differently when the the me turns into the great I am. The small self is no longer as important to us as the self, the soul. And this is great. So the hidden influence is the soul is pushing forward, and the soul, so if you think of how caterpillars become butterflies, these are things called imaginal cells, and imaginal cells, you don't need every single cell of the butterfly to turn on. It's like the genes turn on to all of a sudden then signal to the rest of the group that this is what we're going to become now. And what this is saying is that that's actually going on, is that there's more people, and we're at that stage where the imaginal cells of humanity are starting to pop up. And so here it's like, this is already going on, and this is a good thing. We are going to see the juxtaposition of it, but it becomes more glaringly obvious, and that's also when you see, for example, people still clinging on to materialism in a way that, oh, I want to be that and drive the Rolls Royce and do whatever. Nothing wrong with that for those of you who get to do that. But I'm just saying it's not what's leading us forward right now naturally. So I like this. Now, this is how we protect the future. Dragon's Hoard. This is how we protect our future. And look at this, confidence in your magic, the magician's sword. Isn't this beautiful? This is an energy pulse that's just happening. It's happening because we have called it in and because higher forces have called it in. So this is what's going on that's actually creating this quality of life for us right now in this month of saying like, wow, I am feeling this. I'm personally feeling this. And I know that you have a sense of more magic. That's why so many people are using oracle cards or tarot now, and you're seeing so many decks out there and so many, new practitioners and people who are out there saying, there's magic. We know there is. And now we're actually on a collective level tuning into that. It's very, very cool. So we're starting to reclaim our capacity to really create reality at a level of a more mystical level that shows up in the material world. This is awesome. Now, let's look at the wild cards. What's helping us in January? Let's see. Okay. Okay, here we go. Initiation. Okie dokie. Wild card. The well. Oh, the wall is obstacles. So that's interesting. And new beginnings. So the wild cards, just when we think we're getting our shit together. Okay. Bam. So, okay. So listen, you know what? Let's see what happens this January, but something's going to happen. And it looks like because it's the wall is the obstacles, it's just asking us to slow down. Maybe it's more stuff around the pandemic. Maybe it's other things. We don't know. We have no clue what the exact form of the obstacle that's going to take, but this is the wild card. This will slow us all down. But what supports the slowing down? Okay. Because we have to slow down, we aren't going to be rushing through our work. Why is that important? Because the crossing, the initiation, so we weren't prepared for everything that's happened to us in the past. That's why the shaman archetype started getting, front and center for people, because part of this archetype is that we are initiated into the dark, and we go into the dark places and we come back with a gift for our people. And this is exactly what's happened, but we're ready for this now. So when we slow down, it's giving us more time to actually engage with what's important to us and why we need to be adaptable. So the wild card is that even though this is happening here, this is saying, you know what, you're not going anywhere too fast. And new beginnings are here too. So the Moon Maiden, card 41, is there saying, you know what, you can't make any new beginnings this year until you slow down and recognize still, because this is unknown. Like the initiation is about the bravery and the courage that you need to step into this new version of yourself and ourselves. One thing I will say, though, that although there's some ominous little bit of in the quality of the wild cards, but truthfully, I think this gives us a solid ground as these energies are moving and swirling around us, that we have something to focus on. And I think for me, the two things that really stood out for me was the need to self-care. It's very, very clear that this isn't one of those Januaries where we can just go, yippee! Right? Some Januaries are like, oh boy, I'm going to get on a diet. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. This is like a very vulnerable time for many people. So I just want to acknowledge that and also give everybody a big hug. I hope you like the new format. And tomorrow you're going to see all the astro reading for the month for each sign. Love you guys. And don't forget, is there a link here, Mark,
Yes.
for our vision board challenge? Yes. Perfect, actually. This is actually the perfect stage to do the vision board challenge, because I'm going to really be teaching you some of the new ways to look at a vision board that's pretty much underlined and supported by this January reading. Alrighty, we'll see you soon. Bye. Take care. Okay, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and share this with your friends. Please leave us a comment. We really love reading your comments, and I am going to see you next time. Well, actually, I'll see you with the Astro Oracle reading for the month of January, and I hope you like this new format. I think it rocks, and I hope you do too. Take care.